Hello everybody and welcome to another tutorial in camera and lens repair, and this will also be about a lens and it's a loose focus assembly in the Auto Chinon, and it's 1.4 and it is 55mm lens. So this nice old screw mount M42, as you can see here, well, it's not the best shape, but I think it'll be quite interesting anyway. And this focus is nice and smooth, and most lens element looks okay, but it has another problem, which would like to show you, because it can affect the picture in the end. See, it doesn't matter how the aperture ring is sitting, but the case in here is, if you look carefully, you can probably see the lens, you probably can hear it, is wiggling. So the focus assembly, which is also connected to the lens assembly, um, is quite loose. So it will say the lens, if it sits on the camera, it will go like this, downward. It will say some of the picture will not be pure sharp. So I would like to fix it, and yeah, we need some tools. It's quite easy. It's not, but there are some important things we have to do when working with that with lenses in general, and it's use a scraper or whatever, some pointy thing tool to make scratch in the brass or the aluminium or steel or whatever. And of course we also need some screwdrivers. It will say JIS screwdriver, which stands for Japan Industry Standard, and it's different from the Phillips screwdriver. So this is a JIS 2.5 millimeter, and we also need one for the small set screws, 1.2 millimeter flathead, and the other is a 2.5, no, yeah, 2.5 millimeter, nothing special. And a good tweezer is also handy, some isopropyl alcohol, and a cotton bud. That's it. So then we go into it. You see, I thought when I worked with this lens that I mean, I found out the reason it was loose. There was some screws behind the index ring. So I thought, okay, I can just take off the back of the lens, but no, that was not possible. So the index ring is actually coming not really off, because then again, I will tell you sooner. You, you have to take the bag off before you can take the index ring off. Does it make sense? Yeah. When we look into it, you see, to go into it, we need to take off the front name ring. We sit with 3 set screws there, there, and there. And in case they are very tight, so you think, okay, I can just use my 1.2 millimeter, unscrew it. But if it sits too tight because of, yeah, maybe rusty or corroded or some way, it's important to loosen, soften the thread lock that possibly could be there. They use a lot of it, back then in some lenses. But isopropyl alcohol is really good for that. So we just use a cotton bud with some isopropyl alcohol and simply dip it into the hole here, so that the solvent will soften the thread lock also here and here. But since I have been into the lens before, well, sorry, it will be a lot easier. So we can just unscrew it, loosen it. Loosen it, that was the word. Just a few turns, and but still it can sit quite tight. So there, and the last one here. So it's loosened. Now we unscrew this counterclockwise, and it can also sit quite tight if it's that. It's not the case here because I've been into it, but it could be different in your lens. Take care of that. Now, that was it. And we need to take off the focusing ring itself. It sits with 4 screws underneath here. One there, 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 and there. Before doing anything about that, we need to find the index mark here and make a scratch in here somewhere. I already did that, so so I know exactly the position of the focusing ring. And I not only made a scratch on the brass helicoil, but also on the focusing ring itself, because then I know the exact position of that when I assemble it again. So just unscrew it fully, those 4 screws. Sorry, it's summer cold. So there, and this one. The last one here. Okay, and it comes off here, out. So now I know the position of the focusing ring. It has an internal stop in here, which is a little screw. So lift it out and turn it until the little gap that sits here. And that way you can unlock it that way. Now, since we are in here, we and we know the position of the infinity, you will set a mark here and all the way up here in line with the index mark. So now that I came into, that was to go behind the index mark, I mean the index ring. One need to loosen those 3 screws that sits here, one there, there, and there. So we'll also do that with some isopropyl alcohol. So it's quite easy. There and there. We so loosen them, just a few turn, and this one here, and this one. So now they are loose, and I know the position of that because the aluminium helicoil, which is the outer helicoil, one can lift off the ring. You cannot get it off because then you have to unscrew the 4 screws that hold the mount and the aperture system. So now I can just tighten the screws, all 4. Well, I could use some thread lock, but if I want to get into the lens again, yeah. So now it's fully tightened, and the wow feels much better. So I can now put it back in again. So there, put it over, have the mark I set, which would be in line there. So tighten the screws. And then we will be all fine back again. So you can see it's not that hard to get. Oh, it's not that hard to get into it. Just have your notes and your marks and so on. So now I can put on the focusing ring again. Just set the marks so they are in line. Put the focusing ring on again. See where it will be here. So oh, good. So this here, just put in one screw. Oh, come on. Difficult to see. Yeah. So sometimes they can be really annoying to put in those screws. So just set it, and then you can align the marks, which will be there, and yeah. So the last one here. Oh, that rubber gloves. Yeah, sometimes it's really difficult to see, of course. Ah, so now, yeah, I think it will be better. Sometimes it's difficult for me to see what's going on, and at the same time having the camera looking at what I'm showing. So there, it's fine. No, it's not in position. So just move it a little so the marks are in line. Looks like there. E. So, nah. So here we are. Now it's tight. Then I can take the rest of the screws. There, and then the last one. So there. And here we are. All screws are in. Tighten them gently, not too much. So, there. And last screw. Then you can set it to near end. Here you can see it's not loose anymore. Put the name ring, front ring on. Tighten it good. Then you can screw in the 3 set screws. So there. Whoops. And now we are done. Back to work. That's all for me. Hope you enjoy the content and can use it. So see you in another video. Bye bye.